If you are doing the first certificate English exam, then this video will help you to do the speaking part much better. Watch this video to find out why. As you know, first certificate speaking exam is divided into 4 parts. So part 1 has general questions from the examiner to the candidate. So the first question is, what sports do you do at the weekend? You can obviously say, I do lots of sports at the weekend, but one thing you should do is to avoid the question words in your answer. So you can reply to the question by saying, I'm really busy at the weekend, if you are really busy. Or you can say, I don't do anything at the weekend. I relax, or I take a rest, or I just go out with friends. Or if you do sport at the weekend, like you play football, or you go running, or you're a biker, then you can say that. You can say, every weekend we go running in the morning, or we go biking in the morning. We normally play football at the weekend. Then the examiner will say, do you enjoy it? You will say, yes, I do. So you can answer the question simply by saying, yes, I do, or yes, very much. Or you can say, yes, I do, to a certain extent, which means not very much, quite a bit. Next question is, who do you do the sports with? Well, if you're running with your team, you can say, I do it with my team, or if you're a lone sports person, you can say, I do it on my own. Third question is, how much time do you spend studying at the weekend? It may be that you don't study at all at the weekend. In that case, you will say, I don't study very much, or I don't study at all. So remember, you can say I don't study at all if you study 0. Or you can say I don't need to study very much because I do my homework during the week. Or you can say I study a lot during the weekend, or I do a lot of revision at the weekend. So you can use words like revision. I do a lot of revision at the weekend. I prepare for the test, I work on my project, or simply you can say I get up to speed with my homework, or you can say I catch up with my homework, or I get up to speed with my homework, which means to be in line with your homework. If you have to do a lot of homework, then you do it and then you're up to date with it. So you can use these phrasal verbs like catch up with, or keep up with my homework, or get up to speed with my homework. Sometimes they'll ask you a question like, tell us what you did at the weekend last, or what you did at the last weekend. So obviously now you're using the past tense, and you can say something like, don't really remember, I think I went out. Or you can say, if you do remember, you can say I woke up late in the morning, then I had something to eat, I had a late breakfast. You know, saying something like I had a late breakfast is better than saying I had breakfast. So you can say I had a late breakfast, I caught up with my homework, I did everything I had to, tidied up my room, went out. I went out shopping with my parents, or with my friends, you can say, with my friends, if you've gone out with your friends. In the evening, I just sat back and relaxed, or I just took some time off and did nothing. So you can always say things like, I did nothing, I did something important, I don't remember, or nothing much. So what did you do? What did you do at the weekend? Nothing much really. It was a normal weekend. Nothing really. Don't you remember what you did at the weekend? No, because it's Friday. How would I remember what I did at the weekend on a Friday later? Valid point. Thank you. So the question might be, do you do different things at the weekend than during the week? You would obviously say, well, of course, I don't go to school at the weekend, first of all. So you make a little list. First of all, I don't go to school, obviously. Then secondly, I can sleep a lot more. And thirdly, I don't have to worry about getting dressed the same way I need to during the week, you know, because you can get dressed very comfortably, kind of speak. PJs, pajamas. Like I don't dress up at the weekend. I dress down at the weekend. I don't dress up at the weekend. So you can say I just hang around the house, do nothing, and while during the week I am in a rush situation. I'm going from A to B to C to D, so I'm very busy, and it's a totally different life. Let's go to part 2. As you can see in this picture, there are 2 different situations, and the question is, what are the people enjoying about taking photographs in these situations? So one thing that you must remember, that you don't describe the photos. You don't say I can see there's a girl taking a photo, there are friends having a laugh. That's not important, because that's not the question. Just answer the question for what it asks you. So it says, what are the people enjoying about these photographs? So what the people are enjoying about these photographs is anyone's guess, right? So the girl who's taking a photo on her own obviously likes taking photographs out in the countryside. So you can say, so the girl in the field obviously likes taking photos of the countryside, of nature. So I suppose that's why she's out there, because she's trying to capture a moment of peace and beauty of the countryside. While the girls who are taking a selfie, is that a selfie? Yes. While the girls who are taking a selfie are doing it for a totally different purpose. The subject matter in that photograph is them. They're interested in themselves. They're trying to seize a moment, so they can then send that picture to somebody, share it with someone, or just simply bin it afterwards. I don't know what people do with the photos. Oh, what do you do with your photos? I just upload them on the iCloud, and that's where they stay. I don't print them very often, so it's just a matter of it has almost become normal for people to take selfies in these situations. If you didn't take a selfie, that would be strange. So that would be your second part. Remember, don't describe the photos, simply answer the question, because the question is there for that reason. So in part 3, you need to do a collaborative task where you need to talk to each other for about 2 minutes, and then you are required to reach a consensus, a decision together. So the question is it important for young people to get fit? And there are 5 different ideas. Let's discuss the first one. So, getting fit. So, would you like to start? Nah, I'm okay. You start. No, please be my guest. You can start. No, seriously. Look, you can start first. I insist. You start first. This is getting annoying. Okay, jokes aside, you can say, would you like to start? And then you would say, yes, of course. Then you can say, do you think getting fit is important to young people? Or is it important for young people? And you would say, well, you know, in my opinion, getting fit is important for everyone, not only young people, but definitely young people, yes, because you don't want to be unfit or slightly chubby or fat. Not there is anything wrong with being fat, but it's not good for your health. Then if you agree, you can say, yes, you can say, I think you're right. I think that being fit helps you avoid health problems. Okay, shall we move on? Good idea. Okay, so next one is spending time outside. What do you think about spending time outside? I think that spending time outside, that's the wrong way to answer the question, because it's in the question. So you would say, I think it's important to be outdoors, to be in a park or in a field, play football on a pitch, because you can breathe fresh air rather than being indoors. You have a very good point, or you make a very good point, sir. Thank you. So, do you think we should move on? Indeed. Jokes aside, you can say, shall we move on? Yes, of course. Let's talk about something else. And the fourth point was having the opportunity to do something different. I think that's probably the most important point. So you can say, think doing sport outdoors allows you to explore new hobbies, new interests, or even new dynamics of sport. So from that point of view, it's really good. And if you agree, you can say, absolutely, bang on, 100%. You're right, indeed. Well done. Well said. Well said. You make a good point. Then you can move on to the next one, which is doing something different from school. That I'm not sure about that. You can say, I'm not sure about doing something different from school because many schools do sport. And you can say, well, then my school doesn't, but perhaps your school does. So yes, outdoor sport, extracurricular sports activities, always good. And then you get to the last point where you have to make a decision. So you can talk to each other and you can say, what do you think is the most important? Which point is the most important one in your opinion? You may say, well, in my opinion, I think making friends is very, very important. I think sports is very good from the point of view of making friends. You might say, well, I tend to disagree. I think spending time outdoors is more important, and that's pretty much it. That's your conversation. Now remember, you have 2 minutes to discuss the questions together and 1 minute to reach a decision together. So that's your part 3. So in part 4, you'll be asked other questions like, what can students learn from going on school trips? Now these questions can be a little bit more difficult to answer. So you can say, first of all, going on school trips is fun, which is an obvious thing to say. Obviously it's fun, otherwise you wouldn't go. You can learn to be more independent. You can learn to manage your resources, your finances, and also you can learn to be on your own, away from your family, and look after your things. These are the kind of things you can learn. Apart from other areas, you can also learn how to get on with people more on a daily basis because you're with them longer. You'll also become more confident in dealing with difficult situations. Those are the things you can learn. Do you think students should go on school trips? I think all students will probably say yes, they should, because of the reasons we said before, because it allows you to make new friends, because it allows you to become more independent, because it allows you to learn to see different parts of the world, of your country. So for all those reasons, yes, it's a definite yes. It's a big, fat yes. Next question is, should students decide where to go on school trips? Well, it's a difficult one because you might want to go to a very popular city, but then you might not know other ones which your teachers know, and you might miss out on all sorts of different places which will eventually enrich you. So the point is, yes, it's fair to go to the places where you want to go, but you should also visit other places where you don't really think will be any good. So it's all a matter of I think it's a question of balancing it. Some places you go because you like, some places you go because they are recommended. So that's pretty much it. Some people say students learn more outside the classroom than in lessons. What do you think? There is that. Some people think that you learn practical skills outside the classroom, like learning to do things. While in class you learn the theory, the data, the history. So I think you need a mix of both. You need outside learning and inside learning to have complete education. Only one is not enough. Where would be good to go for a school trip in your area? Why would it be good? Well, that depends on where you are. You could say, Stonehenge is a good place to go and visit because it has prehistoric elements to it. You can learn about the history of the Stone Age, if that's where Stonehenge leads to. So, or if you're in Paris, you could talk about going to the suburbs to learn about the suburban culture, different places, different things. So you can say it would be good to go and visit so-and-so place because there are so-and-so things. I would love to see that because I've always wanted to see it. So you can talk about this. There is a cultural value to something, you know, that you learn something when you go there. So that's an important part. And lastly, some students go on school trips to other countries. Do you think that's a good thing to do? It depends on your point of view. So you could say, absolutely, you learn new languages, new cultures, new people. Other people might say that you're too young. I am of the opinion that's a good idea if you're at least 16, maybe 14 as well. It depends on the type of person you are. So guys, that's it. That's the whole of first certificate speaking exam. I hope you picked up some nice tips and you're able to face the exam more confidently. So keep watching. Speak to you soon. Bye for now. Peace.